Hello, NUTV. I'm back again with another vending machine video. So, today we're in Cullinane Hall, right across from East Village on Northeastern's campus. And there is a vending machine. In fact, there's two vending machines. One for snacks and one for drinks. So we're going to review all the items in the snacks vending machine and some of the items in the drinks vending machine. So, why doesn't everyone introduce themselves?
Hi, my name is Mimi. I'm a rising fourth year computer science and political science major, and I'm excited to try some snacks.
Hi, I'm Valentina, and I am an NDR vending machine veteran.
I'm Breanna, and I am an NDR vending machine newbie.
I'm Kevin, and I am a NDR vending machine rookie and newcomer.
I'm Anna. I'm a vending machine expert, but an NDR newbie.
I'm Daniel.
I'm David Habboosh. I am an NDR vending machine virgin. However, not only this, I'm also generally a vending machine hater because usually you can find the same things at like a convenience store for half the price, but I'm looking forward to investigating what's in this bag.
And I, of course, am your host, Adam. You may know me from News Does Reviews, Loftman Hall Vending Machine. Let's get started. So here we have our first row of snacks along with a beverage. This is Xyience. This is Xyience CherryLime energy drink. In this 16 fluid ounce can, there are 160 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, 0 carbs and 0 added sugars. First up, we have Cape Cod original sea salt chips. The price for this is $1.50. Let's begin.
I love Cape Cod chips. I've never been to Cape Cod, period, so I'm sure it's lovely there too. This is a classic potato chip. It's more crunchy than the average, but I like it. I'd say 3 out of 5 Huskies.
The last time I tried these for Loftman Hall vending machine, I believe I gave them a 2.5 out of 5 Huskies, but this is a much better batch, I think, so I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 Huskies.
I like Cape Cod chips, just generally. I've had them before. They're run-of-the-mill chip, but they're a pretty good chip. I'd also say they're a 3.5 out of 5.
It's a fucking potato chip. What the fuck? I don't know. It's a normal chip. What? 4 out of 5, I guess.
That shit sucks. 4 out of 5. I quite like Cape Cod potato chips. I think they have a nice crunch. I will give them a 4 out of 5.
3.5.
I thought it was pretty good. I like the crunch. I'm not a big fan of original flavored chips, so they lost some points there. But they do taste a lot like Cape Cod, the region feels like, so I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 Huskies.
I'm a big fan of Cape Cod chips. Massachusetts local, you know how we do it. They just do it differently than Lay's somehow, and it's so much better. So I'm giving this shit a 5 out of 5, if I may.
So next we have the barbecue flavor of Cape Cod potato chips at $1.50. They are in the Loftman Hall vending machine, but they wouldn't let me buy them last time. Let's start on this side.
Yeah! Normal win.
Likes us. All right, give it to Mimi.
I don't really like barbecue chips, and this is no exception, but it was like better than I expected, I guess. I'll give it 3 out of 5.
I like this one. It was very bold and flavorful and crunchy. I'll give that a 5 out of 5.
I also don't really like barbecue chips, but I like the crunch, so 3 out of 5.
I quite like the flavor of this one. It was good enough to make nearly a whole second loop around the table. I'll give it a 4.5.
Well, it's a barbecue chip. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of barbecue chip. They took the plain old chip, dipped it in the sauce. It's kind of I'll say a 3, I guess.
I love barbecue chips. I think they're my favorite chips of all of the chips that are flavored. And I like the crunchiness of the Cape Cod chips. I've actually never had the barbecue Cape Cod chips before, so I want to go 5 out of 5.
I'm going to echo that sentiment. I also love barbecue chips, and I think this might be the best barbecue chip I've ever had, so 5 out of 5.
I feel pretty indifferent about barbecue chips, but I quite liked them. So I give it also 3 out of 5.
Here we got Lay's Salt and Vinegar, a true classic for those who like their mouth hurting.
What are we reviewing?
Salt and vinegar.
God.
Some classic SAV.
Oh,
They're so, and they go with your fit so well. It's so,
I feel like I look like
Whoa!
right?
oh, you're a bowler.
I love salt and vinegar chips. I think they're the best chip flavor, and that's my truth. I give this a 5 out of 5 Huskies. I buy these chips by myself all the time.
I think we've discovered a correlation here that the barbecue chip enthusiasts are anti-salt and vinegar, and I definitely fall under this category, so 2 out of 5 Huskies.
I would agree. I also do not necessarily like salt and vinegar chips, so I'm going to go 2 out of 5.
The word vinegar can be derived from the Latin words for wine and sour. So I'm gonna give this a 3.5.
I don't really like Lay's potato chips in general, and salt and vinegar is definitely my least favorite out of the 4 primary chip flavors. So I'm gonna give this like a 1.5.
I don't really like vinegar chips, but this one didn't taste too strong. And I like Lay's, so 3.5.
I happen to love my mouth hurting. Salt and vinegar is not as good as barbecue, but I still am a big fan. I'll give it 4 out of 5.
Salt and vinegar is probably my least favorite chip flavor, and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5.
Here we have sour cream and onion Lay's.
I generally like sour cream and onion chips. These weren't like stupendous, but I'll give them a 3.5 out of 5 Huskies.
I don't think I've ever had like these sour cream and onion chips. They were so good. I'm gonna give them a 4.5 out of 5 Huskies.
I generally like sour cream and onion chips. I feel like the flavor can get a little bit too strong at some point. So I'm just kind of in the middle on sour cream and onion chips, so I'll go 3 out of 5.
Sour cream and onion is perhaps by far the best flavor to exist. Admittedly, it doesn't quite hit the same sensation as biting right into a fresh green onion that's growing right out of the soil, so I'll give this a 4.5 out of 5.
I still don't like Lay's potato chip that much, and this sour cream and onion flavor was a little weak, so I'll give this one 2.5.
Sour cream and onion is my favorite flavor. This one wasn't too flavorful, but still 5 out of 5.
As a child, I used to love sour cream and onion Lay's chips, but as I grew older, my fondness for the flavor and the brand has kind of waned, and I found myself being much more of a kettle-cooked corn chip kind of guy. So I'll give this like a 3 or a 2, a 3.
I was unfamiliar with the taste of sour cream and onion. I don't think I've had this type of chip in a long time, if I have had it ever. But I was very shocked at how amazing it was. And I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 because that was like really good. Much better than plain. Yes. I love Fritos. So these are Fritos. I went into this thinking that Fritos were my favorite chip ever. But now I'm not so sure. Well, I like the chili cheese. Oh, yeah. It's really good. Frito on its own is like alright, it seems. I'm chill with it. Like 3.5.
I fucking love Fritos. They're crunchy, they're salty, they taste like corn. Oh my goodness, 5 out of 5.
Fritos remind me of my childhood, so 3.5 out of 5.
I like them. 4 out of 5.
Fritos are pretty good. I'll give them a 4.
I like Fritos. I think I'd go 4.5.
Yeah, I was fond of Fritos growing up as well, so... And these are a pretty solid batch, too. I'll go with 4.
I'm also fond of Fritos. I think they're an underrated chip, so I'll also go 4.
We also just had some beverages. We have Xyience CherryLime energy drink. Mimi, would you like to get us started?
I don't really like this drink. I think it's too sweet. It tastes like a slightly carbonated, melted popsicle. It tastes like a melted one of those. 1 out of 5 Huskies.
Yeah, I'd probably go with 1.5 out of 5 Huskies. It was really bad.
I think I'd give Xyience a 1. I really did not like Xyience. It was just too, like, syrupy.
For some reason, it smells a lot like medicine. In small amounts, it's tolerable. In large amounts, I imagine it's pretty bad. I'll give it like a 2, I guess.
I personally have never had anything that has cherry lime flavor. I think that's a strange combo. This one didn't taste very good, so I'll give this 1.
I agree with Kevin. It tasted like cough syrup. 2 out of 5.
I thought the taste and the flavor and the carbonation were all just like okay, maybe a little sweet, but the whole like branding and name of the product reminds me of another product which I'm a huge fan of. So I'll give this a 3 out of 5 Huskies.
I didn't think it was that good, but I also didn't think it was that bad. So I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5 Huskies. And no matter the flavor, I will always be a proud Xyientist.
All right, so that leaves us with a 1.75 out of 5 Huskies on our Xyience CherryLime energy. That is the lowest score we've had so far. We also had some Chu Chi Watermelon Juice.
I'm not a huge fan of like super sweet drinks, and this tasted like a melted down Jolly Rancher, but it's not bad. It just is not my cup of tea. But I'll give it a 2 out of 5 Huskies.
I love this. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. It's so sweet, so fruit. It just reminds me of my childhood. Like when I would slurp the watermelon juice from the watermelon.
I would agree with Mimi that it does taste like a melted down Jolly Rancher. And it was a little thicker than I was expecting it to be, but it was pretty good. I quite liked the flavoring, so I'll go with 3 out of 5.
I feel like you would be better off just buying a watermelon and juicing it, man. It is oddly like thick, I think. I saw a 3.
I thought this one was both too watery and too sugary. Like, I feel it's thinner than most juices. I'm gonna give it 2.5.
I think it tastes like watermelon juice, so 4.5 out of 5.
I hated the flavor, I hated the texture, I hate the name, I hate how it looked in my cup. 0 out of 5.
I love watermelons, but this is not watermelon juice. Very artificial. 1.5 out of 5. I did not like it that much.
So even with our first 0 out of 5 rating, this is still averaging significantly higher than Xyience at a 2.69. Here in front of us, we have the second row of snacks in this vending machine. So we've got Cheetos and 3 flavors of Doritos. And we'll also be trying Next Level Fitness Water, as well as Gold Peak Sweet Tea.
I just had a Cheeto. I like it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Honestly, not the biggest Cheeto fan. I'm a much bigger fan of the Puffs versus the crunchy ones, but I'll also give this like a 3.
I love Cheetos for any occasion. 4 out of 5.
Big Cheetos fan, 4.5.
The Jaguar on the cover speaks to me in my dreams. He tells me that I should give this a high score. 5 out of 5.
I like Cheetos. I'm going to go 4 out of 5.
I love Cheetos! 5 out of 5.
I also love Cheetos. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 though.
That gives us our new highest score of 4.25 Huskies out of 5. Next up, Doritos Nacho Cheese.
I like Doritos. I think they're a classic American chip. The nacho flavor is good. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I like Doritos a lot. It's not my favorite Dorito flavor, so I'm gonna start with a 3.5 out of 5.
I don't really like Doritos, but they weren't as bad as I remembered them being, so I'm going to go with a 2.
Doritos are alright, I guess. 4.
I'm not the biggest Doritos fan, but the red ones are my favorite flavor. I'll give it a 3.5.
These are surprisingly good. 3.5.
Doritos are cool. I'll give it a 3.5 as well.
These are pretty good. I was also thinking 3.5. I'm not excited for the other flavors because default is definitely the best.
So now we have cool ranch Doritos. These are awesome. These are my favorite, so I'm excited to dig into these.
I really like Cool Ranch Doritos. I'd give them also 3.5 out of 5.
I think there was something wrong with this batch. I love Cool Ranch Doritos, but I didn't really love these. So I'm gonna give them a 3.5 out of 5 Huskies.
I did not like these. I'm going to go with a 1. I'm sorry.
I don't get what's so Cool Ranch about these, man. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I don't like Cool Ranch Doritos. 1.5.
These didn't have a lot of flavor. 2.75.
Back in 2015, man, I loved Cool Ranch Doritos, but ever since then, year after year, there's been slightly less and less flavor in the bag each time. And now, it's just untenable. I'll give it a 2 out of 5.
I did not expect to like these, and I did not like them. I'll give it a 2 out of 5.
So this is the lowest rated food item so far at a 2.5 average. Next up, we have the purple Doritos, spicy sweet chili.
These ones are spicy, which may be a turnoff to some, but I'm intrigued to see how they do it. That was not good. I'm giving it a 1 out of 5.
Out of the Doritos flavors represented on this table, sweet and spicy chili is definitely my favorite. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
I'm confused by this flavor. It's not too spicy. It tastes like soy sauce, but it's not bad. Like a 3.
It's interesting. but the red ones are still my favorites. I'll also give it a 3.
It's like Cool Ranch with spicy. 4.5 out of 5.
Am I allowed to rate it 0? Yeah. I'm doing that. I don't know what that was. I thought maybe I'd find a Dorito flavor that I liked. That did not happen here.
I'm just really confused too. Like, honestly, I expect to hate spicy chips a lot more. So it's better than other spicy chips. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5.
I'm also gonna give it a 2 out of 5 Huskies. It was a weird flavor. It kind of tasted like teriyaki sauce. I didn't like hate it, but I wasn't loving it.
We also tried this Next Level Fitness water.
It does just taste like water as expected. So I would not recommend paying $3 for this. I'd just get like from a bubbler for free. I don't know what to rate it because it just tastes like water, which is very neutral. So I guess 2.5.
I'm a big fan of water, and this thing tastes a lot like water, but it's hard to rate water not being a 5 out of 5, but I'm going to rate the idea of Next Level Water as a 1 out of 5, because water should be free and cheap for everyone.
I agree with everything being said, but the water is pretty smooth for water. So I give this water 3 out of 5, but do not spend your money on it.
You know, when I first like sipped it, it was just like water. But like as I kept going, it started tasting worse. Maybe like it just set in my brain that I had paid $3 for it. I'm gonna give it like a 1.
So the main advertising on this piece of water is that the added electrolytes, which are pretty much just salts, right? I'll give it a solid 2 out of 5.
It's just solid water. I mean, it was pretty cold, which I liked because I don't like drinking warm water. So I'll go 3 out of 5.
I like water. This was water, so I'll give it a 5 out of 5.
I also like water. This is water. I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So it's 5 out of 5.
We also tried this Gold Peak sweet tea.
I really like tea. I really like sweet tea. This is pretty good. My personal preference is a little less sweet. Overall, for like a prepackaged thing, I give this a 4 out of 5 Huskies.
Way too sweet for a non-fruit beverage, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 Huskies.
I really like sweet tea, so I'm going to go 4 out of 5 Huskies.
Yeah, it's alright, I guess. Sweet tea. 3.
I don't like tea, and I didn't like this. I'll give it a 1.5.
It didn't have much flavor and a lot of sugar. 3.
I thought it was way too sweet. I'm definitely more of an unsweetened tea or like a slightly sweet tea, not like a super sweet tea. So I'll give it a 2 out of 5.
When I'm having hot tea, I don't put sugar in it. But when it comes to iced tea, it's got to be sweet. And this was sweet. I love it. 4.5 out of 5 Huskies.
New highest rated drink, 2.9 out of 5 Huskies. So thank you, Gold Peak Tea, for representing the South. All right, on to row 3. We've got 4 bags of chips as well as some Dr. Pepper. It's the sweet one. And Chu Chi Passion Fruit Juice. Starting us off, we have Sun Chips Harvest Cheddar.
I used to have Sun Chips a lot as a child, but not any longer, and for good reason. They're just not that great. So I'm going to go with like a 3 out of 5.
Sun Chips are like my favorite chip brand most likely, so I'll give this a 5 out of 5. Good chip brand, good flavor, yum all around.
I like the original flavor more, and I also used to have it a lot as a kid. I give this a 3 out of 5. Pretty salty.
I ate these a lot when I was in elementary school, and then I'd like stopped eating them. Now I like them every once in a while. I'll give them a 4.
They're made of whole grain, which is nice. Whole grain's good. I'll give this a 4 out of 5.
I like Sun Chips. They remind me of airplanes because they always give those as an airplane snack. I'm going to go 4 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Solid. Don't hate them.
I like Sun Chips, also a childhood classic. I like them. 3.5 out of 5 Huskies.
I was thinking the sour cream and onion chips tasted like cheese Ruffles, and now I understand because it's cheddar and sour cream.
I have an extreme fondness for Ruffles. I have a good friend from home. Shout out Maisie. She told me a story about when her parents were dating. Her mom asked her dad to bring dinner, and he brought a bag of Ruffles chips and sour cream and onion dip that has like carried on into their life, which is adorable. So now I have a very positive association with Ruffles. 5 out of 5.
I don't really like Ruffles very much. Too cheesy. 2 out of 5.
I am fond of regular Ruffles. I don't know that I'm fond of sour cream and cheddar Ruffles, so 2 out of 5.
Ruffles are my go-to snack whenever I'm like on the brink of starvation. Maybe it's because they look like corrugated sheet metal, but I don't know. They taste good. The texture's good. 5 out of 5.
I like them. 4 out of 5.
I like Ruffles. 4 out of 5.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but they're a bit too salty and jagged, so I'll give them a 2 out of 5.
I'm going 3.5 out of 5.
Next up is Utz Pretzels. They're thin. pretzels.
I like pretzels. I actually prefer like the thin, big pretzels, so this is a good pretzel to me. I'll give this a 4 out of 5 huskies.
I'm not a huge pretzel fan, but they were solid, so I'll give them a 2.5 out of 5 huskies.
I'm a pretzel stan. I don't really think you can mess up pretzels. 4.5 out of 5.
Admittedly, the small crunchy ones are not my type. I like, the big ones. I'll give these a solid 3 out of 5.
I like pretzels, but yeah, pretzels is all the same. 4 out of 5.
I like smaller pretzels. 3.5 out of 5.
Big, small, sweet, or salty. Every pretzel I've ever had in my life has disappointed me. And this has just added onto that long and sad list. So I'll give it 1 star.
So to me, a pretzel is pretty much a delivery method for salt, as are most snacks. But this one, unfortunately, I could taste too much of the actual pretzel. 2.5.
Next up, we got Utz Party Mix.
This contains tortilla chips, barbecue corn chips, pretzel, nacho, and cheese crunchies. Not only did this not taste good, but it left me with a bad feeling in my soul as I took more than my allotted amount. I can't rate the experience, but for the food, I don't really like the idea of like mixes and stuff. I really just prefer like one type of snack. Each individual item in this wasn't very good, so I'm gonna give it like a 1 out of 5.
I love mixes of all sorts, Chex, munchies, and this one's a fucking party. So I'll give it a 5.
I also like mixing snacks because you get multiple flavors. 4 out of 5.
I love Utz Party Mix. I remember last time at Loftman Hall, we got like the most disappointing bag ever where it was mostly pretzels. But this one was quite good. Good distribution. 5 out of 5.
Ashes to ashes, Utz to Utz. Something. I'm dead, bruh. 2 out of 5.
I quite like Utz Party Mix. Back home, my mom always gets it, so it reminds me of home. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. I didn't have much of it, but it was yummy. I love Utz.
I didn't really like this mix. I felt like the flavor was a little lacking. And it probably contains mini pretzels, which I didn't try, but I don't like. So, 2 out of 5.
That's the end of this row, but we also had some beverages. Let's start with passion fruit juice.
I like passion fruit. I definitely like this better than the watermelon. I still think it's weirdly thick, and it's really sweet, but I would give this a 3 out of 5 huskies.
This is a 5 out of 5 huskies for me. It's like a sweet cup of maracuya sour from the motherland of Peru, and I love it.
I don't like passion fruit. It's just a flavor that I cannot get behind. I thought it was also pretty sweet, so I'm gonna go with a 1.
This fruit juice really failed to get the passion out of me. It's also weirdly thick. We'll give this like a 2 out of 5, I guess.
I liked it more than the other Chu Chi's. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5.
It was okay, I think. So 3 out of 5.
I don't like it that much, but I like the Drake song Passion Fruit. So I'll give it a 2 out of 5.
I usually like passion fruit juice a lot, but I really think Chu Chi is just terrible at making drinks. Both of these have been syrups. I assume that's going to be the same for the rest. 2 out of 5. I really like Dr. Pepper, but not their jingle. I'll probably give this a 4 out of 5.
I'm fine with Dr. Pepper, but it's no water. So I'll give it 2.5 out of 5.
It's not my favorite soda, but it's pretty good. 4 out of 5.
I quite like Dr. Pepper, but I don't drink it that often. I'll get a 4.
4.
I don't like soda, so I'm gonna go with a 2.
I don't really like soda that much either. Dr. Pepper used to be my favorite soda flavor, but it's not very good, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5.
I actually recently started liking Dr. Pepper, so I like that at the end it kind of gives you a little cooling effect. I don't know how to describe the flavor. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 huskies.
That does, in fact, leave us with our highest rated drink so far. Dr. Pepper with a 3.25 out of 5 huskies. Alright, let's move on to row 4. This one is strange. We have a cookie, fruit snacks, peanut butter pretzels, and Cheez-Its. Strange pairing. We also have 2 beverages once again. Chu Chi's 100% coconut water. This one actually doesn't have any sugar added to it. And we also have this Push branded fruit punch. Starting off, we will have Daisy's chocolate chip supreme cookie. This is the first snack to be more than $1.50 so far. This one is $2.
The cookie is fine. It tastes like any other prepackaged cookie that ever exists. I give it 2 out of 5 huskies.
Yeah, I purposely avoided the chocolate chips because I don't like chocolate very much, and it was sandy. 2 out of 5.
I think it's a mediocre chocolate chip cookie. I'd go 3 out of 5. It's solidly in the middle.
This cookie's a bit crumbly, I feel, and a little too sugary for me. So I'll give it a 2.5.
I don't remember what we rated it in Loftman Hall. I gave it 1.5 out of 5 Huskies. But I remember that one being like very stale, and this one at least wasn't. So I hope I'm rating it higher than last time. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
I don't like this cookie. 1 out of 5. It has consistency of raw dough and then doesn't really taste the best.
Yeah, it's like unnaturally chewy, and then also tastes very synthetic. So I'll also give it a 1 out of 5.
I love chocolate chip cookies, but this is not it. I tried dipping it in coconut water to see if it would be like milk. It was not. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5.
This one averages a 2 out of 5. It contains bioengineered food ingredients, the lowest rated food item. Next up, we have Welch's Fruit Snacks, original mixed fruit flavor.
I like fruit snacks a lot, but I might controversially think they do all taste the same. That's all a good flavor, so I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5.
I love fruit snacks, so 5 out of 5.
I really like fruit snacks. 4.5 out of 5.
I think Mott's are better, 4 to 5.
I don't know who Welch's is, but I think they did a good job. 5 out of 5.
I love Welch's fruit snacks. They're so nostalgic. 5 out of 5.
I love fruit snacks, and Welch's in particular reminds me of Costco, so I love it. But 4.5 out of 5.
I'm also a Mott's over Welch's fan, but I also love fruit snacks, and so these are also a 4 out of 5.
This is pretty significantly the highest rated thing so far, at a 4.6 out of 5 Huskies. So that's going to be tough to beat. Congrats, Welch's, good job. Next up, we've got Utz, HK Anderson, peanut butter filled pretzel nuggets, the ones I buy at work.
Don't know if you heard, but I didn't like the vibes of this. And I didn't really enjoy it that much. It wasn't like bad, but I wouldn't reach for it ever again. 2.5 out of 5 Huskies.
So actually, a couple weeks ago, when I wanted a snack from the vending machine, this is the one I chose because I thought it would fill me up the best, and it did. I think there was actually too much in it. The unit of a singular peanut butter pretzel, I think, is like 3.5 out of 5 for me, but everything, I understand what you mean by the vibe, is like a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
I like peanut butter pretzels. They're pretty good. I can also get these at my work vending machine. 4 out of 5.
I really like the car on the cover. They also taste really good. I'll rate this a solid 4 out of 5.
These are my go-to from the vending machine at work, 4 out of 5.
It's a good snack. 3.5 out of 5.
It was enjoyable. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
I usually love these, but I thought these ones had too much salt on the outside, and also the peanut butter on the inside was not to die for. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Next up, we got Cheez-Its.
I like them. 4 out of 5.
I also like them. 4 out of 5.
I always have a box of Cheez-Its on me. 5 out of 5.
I like them, 4 out of 5.
I feel like I used to like Cheez-Its, but until the Cheez-In Diner incident of 2024, I feel like I can't do this anymore, man. 1 out of 5.
I also had the Cheez-In Diner experience. However, I am still indifferent on Cheez-Its. I prefer Goldfish to Cheez-Its, but I still like Cheez-Its. So I'll go 3 out of 5.
I, on the other hand, prefer Cheez-Its to Goldfish, but I think I liked the reduced fat ones from Loftman better. I'll give these a 3 out of 5.
I like Cheez-Its. I was never like a huge Cheez-Its fan, but I do like it better than Goldfish. 3 out of 5 Huskies. Coconut water. I am generally an enjoyer of coconut water. I don't necessarily go out of my way to always find it, but if I'm craving it, I will go find it. Pretty good coconut water. 5 out of 5.
I don't think I've ever had coconut water, and I didn't like it, so 1 out of 5.
I don't think I've ever had coconut water either, and I also did not like it. So 1 out of 5.
I feel like coconut crabs or coconuts themselves would taste better than this. 1 out of 5.
I don't like coconut flavor at all, and having coconut water did not change that. 1 out of 5.
I wish it was cooler. It was kind of hot, but I still like coconut water. 3 out of 5.
I love coconut water. I was on vacation one time and I had a really bad tummy ache, so I drank a lot of coconut water and it saved me out of that. So 5 out of 5. Thank you, coconut water.
I hate coconut water and always have. My family has a yearly tradition where we break open a coconut and drink the water for good luck every new year. Your taste buds are supposed to change every 7 years, but I have a yearly reminder that I don't like coconut water, and this was like a bonus for this year. Yeah, it's 0 out of 5.
Average 2.1 out of 5 Huskies. Bad job, Chu Chi's. How about you rate some push?
I always like fruit punch, and this is as fruit punch as it gets, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
Good fruit punch. 4 out of 5.
I feel like all fruit punches is the same, but it was good. 4.
I'm not sure how they did it, but when you poured it out of the bottle, it turned like a lot more red. A 2 out of 5.
Solid fruit punch, 3.5 out of 5.
So here we have row 5. Interesting choices. To accompany these items, we have Push branded lemonade and classic Cool Blue Gatorade. To start, we have Sour Patch Kids watermelon.
So I'm not a big candy fan in general, so we're getting into dangerous territory here. These are like way worse than normal Sour Patch Kids. I'm gonna give them a 2 out of 5.
I like Sour Patch Watermelon a lot more than regular Sour Patch Kids. They're not a candy I have often, but they're not a candy that disappoints. I'll give it 4 out of 5.
I used to like them more as a kid. 3.5 out of 5.
I like the watermelon ones a lot. I remember during Loftman Hall, I thought the Loftman Hall one had watermelon, but they were like peach, and I was really disappointed. I'll give these a 4.
I'm particularly fond of candies that make my mouth hurt. I'll give these a 5 out of 5.
I think I agree mostly with Daniel. These are a pretty good candy. They're pretty solid. 4 out of 5.
I'm a big fan of the Sour Patch Kid universe, but I do prefer the kids to the watermelon. So so I give these a 3 out of 5.
Nature's Bakery strawberry flavor fig bar. There is in fact fig in these. It's the third ingredient.
I think fig bars are a great snack, underrated. I thought these were pretty good. 3 out of 5 Huskies.
I also think they're very underrated, very nutritious. They fill you up, and they're sweet. So 4 out of 5.
I think they're a pretty good snack. I think I prefer the blueberry ones to the strawberry ones. So I'll go 3 out of 5.
Never had fig bars before. They're pretty good. 5 out of 5.
I like fig bars. It makes me feel better about eating something sweet, even though I don't know if it's actually better for you. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
I don't really like it. 2 out of 5.
It was too whole grainy for me, so I'll give it also a 2 out of 5.
I might be a purist, but I do enjoy the just fig ones better than this one with strawberry. So I'll give this a 3 out of 5.
We have the cheapest item in the whole vending machine. We have these Lance branded Toasty peanut butter cracker sandwiches. I can see Mimi's already shaking her head a little. There's 6 of these.
There's 8 of us.
I'll pass. We could rip in half.
Yeah, I'll split it half.
Yeah.
Actually,
Whatever, man. I didn't want to either. I like it. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5.
I thought that was pretty good. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
It was good. 3 out of 5.
I don't know if this is the exact brand, but this is like a classic car ride snack for me. I like them. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I haven't had one of these in like a really long time. They remind me of car rides as well. 4 out of 5.
I'd probably give these a 2.5 out of 5.
I prefer the artificial cheese flavor, but they're solid, so 2.5 out of 5.
6 Oreos for $1.75.
I love Oreos. 5 out of 5 Huskies.
I thought I loved Oreos, but I don't think I do anymore. You know the taste buds changing every 7 years? I think mine just changed right now. 2 out of 5 Huskies.
They're fucking Oreos. We all know what the fuck these are. 2 out of 5.
I used to not like normal Oreos and like double stuff better, but now I'm more amenable to normal Oreos. But it is $1.75 for 6 Oreos. 3 out of 5.
Tasted pretty good. 4 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Now we have to contend with Klement's original pork and beef snack sticks.
I'm a big fan of meat sticks, but only this kind. I thought they were kind of fine. I prefer the Jack Links. I prefer a Slim Jim. Overall, solid meat stick. 2.5 out of 5.
This wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It smelled a lot worse, but it tasted okay. I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5.
I'm gonna be honest. The meat kind of seems a little gray. I guess it tasted pretty normal. A little off-putting, I guess, by appearance. So I guess I'll say 3 out of 5.
Bro. 1.5.
Never had one of these things before. 3. Not that bad.
I like meat sticks. 4 out of 5.
I was promoting a lot of hate on these. I generally don't like any of these cured meat type things. I don't know, the spice on it was pretty good, and that's probably its best saving grace. So I'll give it a 3.5.
Peanut M&Ms.
I love peanut M&Ms. I haven't had them in a really long time. I just don't go out of my way to buy them. 5 out of 5 Huskies.
Oh my god, this shit is so fire. 5 out of 5.
I like pecan nut M&Ms. They just feel more substantial than a normal M&M. 4.5.
One of my favorite sweet treats. 4.5.
I'll do like 2 stars.
It's 3.
Snickers packed with peanuts. Really satisfies.
I don't like this. 2.
What he said. 2.
I don't really know. 3.5.
I like a Snickers, but also $2 is insanity. 2.5.
You're not you when you're hungry. 3, I guess.
I much preferred peanut M&Ms for like a peanut candy. 3 out of 5.
This was good. 3 out of 5.
I don't like Snickers. 1.5.
2 Reese's Peanut Butter Cups for $2.
I love Reese's. I think it's one of the best candies ever made. 5 out of 5.
I also love Reese's. I prefer the ones that are shaped like things. I think those are the best Reese's, like the ghosts or the footballs that they occasionally do, or the bats. But, you know, Reese's are pretty solid. 4 out of 5.
Why are they so fucking expensive, man? I mean, they're good, but I don't know if it's worth the price. 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, so this is $1 per Reese's Cup, which is pretty horrific. I really like Reese's Cups, but because of the price, these are going to have to get like a 2 out of 5.
I love Reese's peanut butter cups. 4.5 out of 5.
4.5 out of 5.
Much like Whoppers and Mars bars, these should only be eaten on Halloween, and even then, barely. 1.5.
So we had some Push lemonade.
Push was amazing. This like electrified me. That's a feeling I love. 4.5 out of 5.
This was weird. It low-key tasted like piss to me. 1.5.
I quite like this lemonade. 3.5 out of 5. I did not think it tasted like piss.
Lemonade is lemonade. 4 out of 5.
I thought it was an okay lemonade. Nothing stood out. 3 out of 5.
I feel like it tasted like piss. It did not electrify me. In fact, it felt like it electrocuted me. It like really offended my taste buds. 1 out of 5 Huskies. Generally, I actually enjoy Gatorade, but in college, I only drink it during traumatizing times. One instance was when I had food poisoning for 24 hours, and I didn't drink anything besides Gatorade, and it was just like an endless cycle of Gatorade. So I can't really look at it the same way anymore, but 3 out of 5.
I grew up not liking Gatorade because I had some traumatic experiences with Gatorade in the hospital. Blue Gatorade is fun. I'd say it's a 3 out of 5.
2.
It's Blue Gatorade. 3.5 out of 5.
3.5.
1.5. The drinks like taste worse each time, probably because of the amount of sugar I've had by now.
Row 6 out of 7. Once again, 4 snacks. Our beverages, we've got Chu Chi Mango Juice, Liquid Lightning energy drink, $3, the cheapest of the energy drinks.
150 milligrams of caffeine.
M&M's, milk chocolate.
I like M&Ms. I like letting them melt in my mouth. I would give them 3 out of 5.
I like M&Ms. I know this is probably controversial, but I think M&Ms are my favorite candy. I think I like the mini ones more, but these are good. 4.5 out of 5.
They're alright. I mean, they're pretty standard candy, I think. I'll give them a 3.5.
Always a solid pick. 3.5.
Good candy. Classic. 4.
It's M&M's brown flavor. I'll give it a 4.
2.5. It's just like pure milk chocolate, not really with anything extra.
This is Candy Break. Tommy's Bears vegan mixed fruit flavor. I guess there's no gelatin.
The gummy bear was very interesting. Clear on the inside, foggy on the outside. It had an interesting crunch, but I liked it overall. 2.5 out of 5.
I didn't really like the texture. I was really put off by it. 2 out of 5 Huskies.
I think they were okay. For a vegan candy, I'll go 3.
The texture is a little bit strange, I think. It seems a little off. Otherwise, it tastes good. I'll give this like a solid 4 out of 5.
I hated these. The texture sucked and the flavor wasn't very good. 1 out of 5.
If you're a vegan, just eat the chips. This is 1.5 out of 5.
Not good. 1 out of 5.
If I was a vegan and this was the last food on earth, I would just give up. It's a 1 out of 5 for me.
Tied for worst food item at 2 out of 5, along with the cookie. Next up, this jumbo honey bun.
I'm not a huge fan of like prepackaged pastries in general, so this is like a 1.5 for me.
4 out of 5. I love this kind of gas station genre of dessert.
Yeah, this is a very nostalgic sort of item. I don't think I've ever had this brand. Honey buns are pretty solid. 4 out of 5.
This is actually kind of great. Can I give this a score higher than 5? 5 out of 5.
I enjoyed this quite a bit more than I was expecting. I'll give it a 4.
Me as well, also a 4.
I used to steal these a lot from my local Cornerstone when I was a kid, but now I'm not so fond of them. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5.
3.5 for me.
Tasty cake, sugar wafers.
I adore these. They're wonderful. 5 out of 5.
Pretty bland and flavorless. 1.5 out of 5.
2.5.
I also think they're pretty bland and flavorless, but for some reason I really like them. 4 out of 5.
They have a pretty nostalgic taste. 5 out of 5.
I really like wafers, and these are actually surprisingly really good. So I'd say 4 out of 5.
Another Chu Chi product, mango juice.
It was really good. I really liked it. 5 out of 5.
I also really liked it. 5 out of 5.
Yeah, this is syrupy, as with some of the other Chu Chis. I really dislike the flavor of mango for some reason, so I'll give this a 1 out of 5.
This is definitely my favorite out of the 4 Chu Chi's products. I think I'll give it a 4.
I like mangoes. 4.5.
I'll give it a 2 out of 5. Just like the others, it's not good. This is quite bad. I'll give it a 1.5.
The drink itself didn't really taste like much to me, but it did make me physically seize up when I drank it, which is pretty interesting for a beverage to do, so I'll give it a 4. Good accomplishment.
It's like if LaCroix made a strawberry yogurt flavor. 1.
This one was truly vile. Half a husky.
The basic functional unit of the kidney is known as the nephron. I think they're all dying en masse in my body right now. This is horrible. I feel like I'm drinking straight battery acid. Never again, never forget. 0, straight 0.
Better than Xyience. Really? Still not very good, so 2 out of 5.
I have to disagree. I think it was worse than Xyience because it doesn't have one flavor. Like it's really something else. So I would also give it a 0.5 a husky.
A new king has come for the throne. This is the new lowest rated item at 1.36 out of 5 huskies. We've got our last row of snacks.
Yay!
Combos, 2 versions of Pop-Tarts and a Rice Krispie treat. Plus, Sana V, lemon lime, sparkling spring water. Push orange soda.
I like cheese combos. I'm giving it 4 out of 5.
Cheese and pretzel, great combo. 4 out of 5.
3.5.
Normally I only eat these in an airport. 3.5.
They're a bit salty. 4 out of 5.
I think I'd rather just have a normal pretzel. 2 out of 5.
I don't really like cheese. Pretzels are fine. 2 out of 5.
This was fine. 2.5.
Next up, Hot Fudge Sundae Frosted Pop-Tarts.
Hot fudge is good. I'm giving it a 3.
Hot fudge is the best Pop-Tarts flavor ever. 5 out of 5.
I didn't really like Pop-Tarts, but it was pretty good. 3.5.
I don't like the hot fudge flavor. 2.5.
I didn't love the hot fudge flavor. 2.5.
Strawberry classic. Love it. 3 out of 5.
Strawberry is the best flavor, and it never fails me. 5 out of 5.
Strawberry is a very good flavor. 4 out of 5.
I get the strawberry ones from the work vending machine all the time when I don't have breakfast. 4 out of 5.
3.5.
Do not like strawberry Pop-Tarts. 1 out of 5.
Maybe these would have been good if they were heated. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5.
Rice Krispies, childhood classic. Not my first choice, but still good. 3 out of 5 huskies.
I think Rice Krispies that you make are better. 2.5 out of 5.
The 3 little characters on the wrapper taunt me in my nightmares. 2 out of 5.
The homemade ones are definitely better, but there's something about the like really artificial marshmallow in the factory made ones that I actually enjoy. 3.5.
3.
Snap, crackle, pop. Rice Krispies are on top. Once I start eating them, I can never stop. 5 out of 5.
4.5 out of 5. The only thing missing is the chocolate chips and the chocolate chip ones because those are so good.
So that ends the snack vending machine. The highest rated item remained the Welch's fruit snacks, and the lowest rated item is the cookie and gummy bears Tide. But we still have some beverages. Let's start with the sparkling water.
I don't usually like sparkling water. This was slightly better than most because it had more flavor, so I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
I like sparkling water. 4 out of 5.
I don't usually like it, but it was pretty good. 3.5.
I hate sparkling water. 1 out of 5.
Not the biggest fan of sparkling water. If I wanted a taste of carbon in my mouth, I'd go to the industrial district. 1.
I don't normally like sparkling water because I don't really like carbonation, but this one was okay, and the flavor wasn't terrible. 2.5 out of 5.
I love sparkling water. 5 out of 5.
I also love sparkling water. I'd say this is a 4 out of 5. Push Orange. It's pretty good. Classic orange soda. Not as good as Fanta. 3 out of 5.
It's all right. I wonder how it compares to Schwip Schwab. 4 out of 5.
It's like the same as Fanta, 3.5.
I've never had Push before. I like Fanta and Crush more. 3.
2.5.
We have our last 2 items. Now, this was not the entire drinks vending machine, but these were all the interesting items. Tribe tea, lemon tea, and we also have Push pineapple soda.
The Push tea was not very good. I was actually, at first I thought I liked it, and then I decided I didn't, because it kind of tastes like licking a piece of paper. 2 out of 5.
I don't equate it to licking paper, but I also thought it was just okay for tea. 3 out of 5.
It's oddly sweet, I think. 2 out of 5.
Still don't like tea. The addition of lemon kind of helped, but I still didn't like it. 2 out of 5.
I didn't like the aftertaste. 2.5.
So this is iced tea with lemon, and I don't really need lemon in this, so I'll give it a 3.5. And now for the pineapple soda. I like pineapple juice for various reasons. Unfortunately, I don't like this soda, nor do I think it has the same health benefits. So I'll give it 1.5.
3.
It was alright. 2.5.
0 out of 5. This is the worst drink I've ever had in my life.
I really like pineapple soda. 3 out of 5.
The best item in the drinks vending machine wasn't that good even. The Chu Chi Mango Juice at a 3.6 out of 5 Huskies. And the worst item in the drinks vending machine and the worst item overall, Liquid Lightning. A 1.34 out of 5 Huskies. But I guess it didn't help that we didn't do any of the drinks people would actually like. Thank you all for joining me. I don't know why you did that.
I learned that just because you eat an entire vending machine once does not mean that your stomach will suffer less the second time.
I've learned that I still don't like Doritos.
What the fuck did we learn from this experience, man?
I probably said this last time, but I learned I don't want to do this again.
I just don't feel good.
The consequences of gluttony are not to be underrated. I'll remember this day for many years to come.
As is often the case in NUTV, I learned the power of resilience. I did it with a very wonderful group of people, and that's what makes any of this doable.
Yeah, man.
See you all next time. Bye.